Austin Holt and Connor Schwob will get us started. Enjoy the sights and sounds of the 81st all-time meeting between these two programs. St. John's controls the opening tip, and they work from right to left. Ryan Thiessen stops his dribble into the near side corner for Zach Longville. Longville finds Berg. There is Thiessen. Number 24 in blue is going to be the player you're going to have to highlight here this afternoon. Just underway from historic Cotton Arena. Thiessen, step back, mid-range jump shot is good. And Sean, he is someone that is dangerous each and every time out for St. John's.
I agree 100%. Very athletic, does a lot of things for him, so they're going to have to live with a shot like that once in a while, but hold him down, I think.
2-0 St. John's, approaching a minute into this one here this afternoon. Daniel McCarroll has a shot blocked underneath. It goes out of bounds. Not even a minute into this ball game. Daniel McCarroll had 17 points, 3 assists. He held down 6 rebounds last time out against Bethel. They won 74-61, did the Hamline Pipers. St. John's took care of St. Mary's last time out, 84-59. The two top teams in the MIAC tangling here this afternoon. 5 to shoot for the Hamline Pipers. Got to go. Daniel McCarroll on the block for Austin Holt. Holt fade away as they go off the side of the backboard. Shot clock violation to begin the afternoon offensively for the Hamline Pipers.
Not a great first possession. They're going to have to find a way to be patient and move the ball around because St. John's again is so physical, and you're going to have to use the whole floor against them.
Hamline is 1-9 in the last 10 matchups against St. John's. Again, it was an 80-60 final. The last time these two teams played earlier this season. Good look, and the finish is there for St. John's, and it's Connor Schwob. It's 4-0 Johnnies here to start. Brendan Ebel snares the pass underneath the basket down to our broadcast right, and we're going to get a foul to stop play with 18:26 left in this first half.
I think early on it's key, Tom, because the last time at St. John's they got down early and played fine the rest of the way, but you got to stay close early on.
They trail by 4. Daniel McCarroll trying to chisel his way in off the side of the backboard once again for the Hamline Pipers. 4-0 St. John's. They look to add on, and they do. Cooper Vaughn knocks down the triple. He had 14 points. He made 4 threes against St. Mary's. It's 7-0 St. John's with under 18 minutes to play in this first half. Bradley Simperman off to his right. Here is Sam Hoffman. Coach Hayes wants them to move the basketball inside for Austin Holt. What a sweet move that was. Off the glass and in for Austin Holt. Hamline on the board, 7-2.
Good to see him finish strong early on in this one. Hopefully that continues. He'd be a big weapon if he can.
He has 2 career double-doubles against St. John's. All deflected out of bounds. St. John's will get ready to inbound the basketball just to our broadcast left. So it's 7-2 St. John's. Just underway here in this first half. Johnny's in the bright blue, Hamline in the white. Berg spinning. Cut off, finds Ryan Thiessen. Left angle 3, rattles out. All right, Sean. We're trying to get Hamline going here offensively. What do you think they need to do here?
Stay within themselves, I think, is the key. Defend hard and stay within yourselves. Don't get frustrated early if you get, just stay in the rhythm of your offense, I think.
7-2. St. John's back with the basketball. Underneath it goes. A good feed from Zach Longville. Underneath the Connor Schwob. And Schwob off to a terrific start here this afternoon. He had 10 points, 10 rebounds, a double-double last time out against St. Mary's. And it's 9-2 St. John's. Austin Holt going to work in the paint. Kicks it out left side for Daniel McCarroll. McCarroll back for Austin Holt. Daniel McCarroll drives, leans in. A lot of contact there. Austin Holt has it stripped, gets it back, gotta go. Shot clock violation. Another turnover, and the Hamline Pipers go back defensively.
I like how they attack the rim on that possession, but it's tough to have the shot clock run down on the
16:19 left in this first half. It's 9-2 St. John's. Austin Holt with the 2 points for the Hamline Pipers. Connor Schwab with a game-high 4 to lead the way for St. John's. Cooper Vaughn up high for Zach Longville. Around the corner it goes, and a 3 from the near corner is good to make it 12-2 with under 16 minutes to play in this first half. Berg a triple.
Not the start we wanted to see. Let's see if they can find a way here.
Ebel, good on a fadeaway bucket. Good to see Brendan Ebel on the board.
The thing that makes St. John's so tough is they're so balanced. You know, they can't have a letdown. That'll help.
Yep. A foul here called against St. John's. Zach Longville with the personal foul. So we get to catch our breath here with 15:33 left in this first half. 12-4 St. John's. Again, it's great to have Sean's perspective, someone that has played here at Hamline. He played with Coach Hayes. He knows what it's like when you're playing these MIAC ball games. We talk about it every time. It's a different feeling, a lot of intensity, and it's intense at the start here as Austin Holt scores.
Another good sign early. You're absolutely right, too. We don't know how this thing will pan out in the end, but this is the top team, and you've got to come out and gain confidence as you go through this game as we go down the stretch toward the playoffs.
Ryan Thiessen crosses over in the lane as it's stripped, and we're going to get a reach-in foul called against the Hamline Pipers. Coach Hayes not happy with the call.
I'm a little bit with him on that one, but
we'll send Ryan Thiessen to the free throw line. 18 points against St. Mary's. He is a terrific player for St. John's.
He absolutely is. And hopefully we've got big guys coming in that can help contain him, because he's definitely going to take it at him. I know we're down a little bit today with a couple guys being out. That hopefully won't, some of those other guys got to step up off the bench. Like obviously they've already got Sam Bradley in the game, but with McWhirley being out, there's a challenge there to maintain physical play with these guys.
Yeah, McWhirley not in the lineup for Coach Hayes. 14-6 here with 14:45 left in this first half. Around for Daniel McCarroll. McCarroll puts it on the floor. He'll drive, kick out, wide open look. Sam Bradley right down the hatch it goes.
And I tell you, when his feet are set, it is a pretty shot, and that's something that'll give him a lift here early.
Sam Bradley played 13 minutes against St. John's in the earlier matchup. Had 3 points, has 3 points now. 14-9, St. John's. A fight for the loose ball after the Johnny's miss.
Great job defensively there, not backing away from that.
Ebel in the far corner, a look for 3 off the side of the backboard. 14 minutes to play in this first half. 14-9, St. John's. Hamline back on defense.
Seems like they got over the jitters early, and the intensity's picked up, and it's going to have to stay that way throughout.
These two teams are starting to settle in, more so Hamline. St. John's came out firing. A turnover, springs ahead, Hamline, and Brendan Ebel scores, and St. John's will call a timeout with 13:45 left in this first half. It's a 3-point game, 14. Welcome back to historic Hutton Arena. 14-11 is our score. Don D'Andrea with you. Sean Lang joining the broadcast here today. 3-point game out of the timeout. Hamline forces a turnover. So they will have the basketball. Raul Vidia on the floor for Coach Hayes.
He's also another guy that's given him a big lift. Had a nice first half against Bethel.
Vidia had 10 points against Bethel. Hamline won that ball game 74-61. 3-point margin right now, approaching 13 minutes to go in this first half. Austin Holt leaning in, spins baseline and scores.
Great signer to just continue to be physical and take it to him inside. It'll help out big time down the stretch.
Austin Holt had 12 points and 11 rebounds, a double-double last time out against Bethel. On the other end of the floor, the Johnnies come up empty. Good defensive play there by the Hamline Pipers, and now we'll see if they can get into a rhythm here. It's a 1-point game, 14-13. First half shows 11 and a half to go. Bradley Simperman back to the basket, matched up against Berg. Simperman spins baseline. That's good defense by Berg. Off the miss, Edelman back the other way for St. John's. Still a 1-point game. The Johnnies with the basketball. Berg drives baseline and he scores. Blake Berg had 6 points against St. Mary's. He makes it 16-13 Johnnies. Austin Holt over for Jake Veldman. Veldman in the game for Coach Hayes. Austin Holt lines up and look for three, and that's good.
Definitely came to play, didn't he?
He did. He can do it in the paint and outside. Austin Holt ties the game up at 16 with 11:35 to play in this first half.
Travel? Yeah, I think so.
Traveling violation called against St. John's. Berg with the traveling violation, and with 11:31 officially left in this first half. Again, it is 16 all. And you talked about it. Hamline starting to settle in after that timeout. They played well on the defensive end, and now their offense getting into a little bit of a rhythm here.
Now a little more of that depth coming, Dosman coming in, and some guys that have to continue to maintain that high level of play.
Speaking of Dominic Dosman, comes up short. That was a strong defensive play by Luke Budson on the defensive end, 35 for St. John's. 11 minutes to go in this first half. Kyle Johnson, nice to the bucket as it roll off. Hamline with an opportunity here to take the lead with the game tied at 16 by Dia.
I think he got a push there.
Yep. Off balance, pushed. They'll head to the line to shoot two with 10:55 to play.
So far, they've done a nice job defensively too, giving up just one look. So that'll be big too.
Idea really displayed a ton of confidence. He has displayed a ton of confidence all season long. But as you know, when it comes to MIAC games, the intensity picks up, and he has played well in these big games.
And it's tough, freshmen coming to this league. It's more of a senior-dominated league, upperclassman league, and he has done a nice job kind of getting comfortable to this point. And now toward the end of the year, he feels like he belongs out there, and I like to see that that speed that he has going to the basket, ability to take care of the ball.
He had 13 points against St. John's in the earlier matchup. His career high.
We're in a battle here, and I don't think Simperman, he has that one look, and obviously he's a guy that we have to get going throughout as this game goes on. Tough scorer when he gets rolling.
Simperman picks up the personal foul. 18-16, Hamline leading by 2. 2 shots coming up for St. John's. Berg connects on the first. Blake Berg at the line. Makes it a 1-point game, 18-17, with 10:45 to play in the first half. That's up and good, so he goes 2 for 2.
Well, after a slow start, I like to see where we're at right now and keep this level of intensity up as we go into this first half would be wonderful.
Blake Berg had 13 against Hamline in the first meeting. Ties the game up at 18 here in the regular season series finale. Austin Holt spins in the lane, dumps it under. Dominic Dosman sealed off at the rim. Good look. We're still tied at 18. St. John's back with the basketball right to left.
This is definitely the kind of contest you'd expect right now from two of the top teams in the league, where everything has to be earned. First time that Hamline went to St. John's, the start of the game, there were a lot of easy free looks, and those can't be there at this level.
Going to get a whistle and foul with 9:59 left in this first half. 21-18 is our score. St. John's edging out Hamline here in this first half. Set the 5 on the floor for Coach Hayes. Simperman, Holt, McCarroll, Ebel, and Hoffman. The 5 on the floor for Coach Hayes. Under 10 minutes to go in this first half. McCarroll spins and scores. Strong move there by Daniel McCarroll.
Definitely big physical play from the guard position. If he gets himself in around the basket, he's really pretty good at finishing.
Hamlin's 16-point victory last February as the ball goes out of bounds across the way. At St. John's snapped a 16-game losing streak against the Johnnies, and it marked the Pipers' first victory at St. John's since February 21st of 2006. That was an MIAC tournament game, closing the book on a 17-game losing skid in Collegeville. They lost in Collegeville earlier this season. They're back at home where they are 6-1 in this building this season. But
another great defensive possession there.
Yeah, that was a good defensive stand there by the Hamline Pipers.
You know, Coach Hayes is going to have everything that they're going to do scouted. He works hard and he has them prepared, and they got to use that.
There's Simperman down low. Holt draws a double team as it's stripped away. St. John's back the other way from right to left. Zach Longville with the basketball, chops his feet, now circles his way to the basket, kick out, wide open, look for 3. Ryan Thiessen has it rattle out. Quickly down the floor, here is Brendan Ebel. Daniel McCarroll, Austin Holt grabs it and scores a left angle 3. 23-21 Hamline. Thiessen drives, stops his dribble, leans back, has it go off the heel. Offensive rebound, St. John's. 8 minutes to play in the first half. 23-21 Hamline. Underneath, the glass is cleaned up by Connor Schwob, and Austin Holt is underneath the basket and hurt with 8 minutes to play in this first half.
Didn't see what happened there, but hopefully he's all right. Looks like he's shaking it off. That was one of the first possessions, I think, Tom, where we had multiple looks at the basket. An offensive rebound, 2 offensive rebounds.
So with 8 minutes to play here in this first half, again, it is 23-all.
Done a pretty good job so far on Thiessen. I mean, he's had a couple of looks for 3. I don't think that's his ideal shot. He's shooting a pretty good percentage from there, but they've kept their eye on Vaughn. You know, he's the one that can change a game in a hurry. Can't lose him. Now, this is a pleasure being with you here. This is kind of a cool setup. Just a good crowd here. I know the students are just coming back from break. I think Coach Hayes said, what a good environment for a game. I love how you say historic Hutton Arena. This is a great place.
It is great. It's a great environment when it's filled up, and it is filled up here this afternoon. Hamline turns the ball over. St. John's back the other way.
Dude, I just talked about that. Is that a thing? Now we just got to keep an eye on it. That was a good pull-up, but he's the one that can change the game real quick if you let him get open.
Cooper Vaughn had a game-high 17 in the earlier matchup. 26-23, St. John's with 7:25 left in this first half. Brendan Ebel attacks the rim and scores.
So good taking it to his left to the rim. I like to see that. Got good length and stretches and makes Johnny's pay for letting him get to the basket.
1-point game, 26-25. Cooper Vaughn puts it on the floor. It's stripped and a whistle.
I think that call came from a bad angle. I'm not sure if I like that one either, but I'm not supposed to like those calls, am I?
7:04 left here in this first half.
And again, on that end, Cooper Vaughn comes out looking from the perimeter, and making him drive inside the arc is not a bad thing. Like I said, letting him get open from deep can hurt you quick.
7:04 officially to play in this first half. Thiessen off balance, still headed to the line to shoot 2. Daniel McCarroll, Sam Bradley. So Sam Bradley with the personal foul, his first personal, team's 4th. Thiessen at the line to shoot 2.
I think so far they have let him play a little bit. I don't think there's any doubt this is going to be physical all the way through it.
St. John's 11-0 in MIAC play this season. They're 6-1 on the road. Both teams on 5-game winning streaks. 7:02 left in the first half. It's 28-25. It's been a great one here. Hope you're enjoying our coverage from historic Hutton Arena. Ebel with it. Around the defender, attacks the rim, and one. There you go, Sean. That's what you like to see. Brendan Ebel attacking the cup, and he'll add the line to shoot 1.
Maybe a little asking for the foul the last time he went to the rim might have helped out there, because it was a little bit of a similar play, but that time he got the call and he's going to get the extra shot.
So he will shoot 1. We'll take a look at the stats here. Austin Holt leading the way with 12 points. 12 points. 3 rebounds for Hamline. He has knocked down a couple of triples. Ebel does it swirl out, so no 3-point play. 28-27, 1-point game. Hamline trailing by 1. Ryan Thiessen with the basketball. Out for Zach Longville. Hands it off.
St. John's doing a nice job of spacing the court, but Hamline's doing an equally nice job of not giving easy driving lanes, making them work for it.
Thiessen short, cleaned up underneath by Bradley Simperman. 6:20 to play. 1-point game, 28-27. Inside for Austin Holt. Holt
finish.
Leaning in, unable to finish. Cleared out by
Good look.
St. John's. They have it. Zach Longville leans back off the glass, rattles out. A lot of contact.
It's a battle.
Yeah, we play on. With 5:55 to go in the first half.
Nothing easy.
Jake Veldman, chest pass to Austin Holt into the corner for Bradley Simperman. Simperman, step back,
yes,
is good. Slices right through the lane and knocks it down.
As I've watched him, it's kind of a bread and butter. He goes over that right shoulder and fades. That's a pretty shot. It's tough to guard. Got to get him rolling a little bit. 29-28, Hamline up by 1. 5.5 to play in this first half. Little contact. They got him on the foul on that one.
5:27 to go in this first half. St. John's will head to the line. Kyle Johnson at the line. 12 points against St. Mary's last time out for Johnson. And he scores the first free throw.
Again, that's one thing that stood out to me as I just take a look at the stat sheet. St. John's has got 3 guys in double figures, but just 14, 13, 11, and then 7, 6, 5, 5, 5, 5, 5. Tough to guard a team that can bring lots of different weapons at you.
5:27 left in the first half. It's 30-29. St. John's up by 1 after the free throw make. Idea off to his right. Up top for Austin Holt. Left side, Jake Veldman. Here is Bradley Simperman. Raoul Idea spins it up top for Jake Veldman. Veldman off to his right for Daniel McCarroll. McCarroll attacks the paint. Spins with the right hand, and that's good. That's been the spot on the floor the Hamline Pipers have attacked, and the success rate is positive. Here with 4:55.
He almost stepped over the line.
Yeah.
And, he's trying to call a timeout. Everybody came down the court, and they had nobody to throw it to.
And they're going to say out of bounds.
Oof.
And Hamline will have the basketball here. So, you're on it.
Well, we were pleasing for it down here, our coaching staff.
4:55 to play in the first half. 1-point game. Hamline leading by 1. So a turnover sets Hamline up. McCarroll back to the basket. same spot on the floor, and he'll head to the line to shoot 2.
I like their attack mentality on the offensive. Not settling for stuff, getting the ball reversed, attacking in the paint. It's huge because you know St. John's is going to continue to attack at this end. It makes it hard for them to take an advantage if we're going both ways and put that physical play.
Carroll misses the first free throw attempt. What a start. Again, doubleheader Saturday on the women's side earlier. Hamline won by 3 against St. Ben's. That was a great matchup.
Caught the end of that. What a great finish there.
And that's off to a great start here in game 2. McCarroll good from the line. You know, Daniel McCarroll last season got a lot of playing time at the start of the season. Then he had to deal with an injury through the majority of the back end of the season. When he's on the floor, he's a good player for the Hamline Pipers. Flushes it down.
You see his athleticism right there. Yeah, he was hotter than heck last year to start the year, and he tried to make a run in the playoffs, and he was a missing piece for him. They still beat St. Mary's last year, but it's so nice to see him gaining that confidence back that he played with early in the year.
A lot of players stepping up. Again, they are without Mick Worley.
Again, continue to communicate, continue to be physical, not give up easy driving lanes. You got to live with that once in a while. I mean, I think it's his first one he's hit. He's missed a couple, but.
Basin now with 9, 34-33. Hamline leading by 1. Into the corner for Daniel McCarroll. McCarroll leading in against Ryan Thiessen. Thiessen wins that matchup. Still loose underneath. Secured by Austin Holt. He spins around and he banks it in. Timeout called by the Hamline Pipers. They lead 36-33 with 3:41 to play here in this first half. .340 to play in this first half. 36-33 is our score. Hamline with St. John's with the basketball, pardon me.
Again, good court spacing by the Johnnies, and we're just continuing to work hard, keep our eye on the ball, and help on the penetration. Got a little foul on the perimeter there.
Ebel picks up the personal foul.
We got 9 guys playing right now, so as long as we can keep shuffling them in, stay out of foul trouble.
36-33. 3-point game. Hamline leading by 3. Inside.
Live with that. Don't lose them on the perimeter.
Austin Holt clears the glass. Here is Raul Vidia with a terrific move, and he gets the finish.
That was pretty awesome. Sometimes you can get buried down in there and get lost, but he got a good finish on that one.
38-33 with 2:50 to play in this first half. Hamline leading St. John's. Thiessen spins around. Has it hang up on the rim. Out of bounds, Hamline basketball with 2:44 to play in this first half. It's 38-33.
Definitely impressive individual effort. Came up a little short, but just being physical with him and making him earn it is big.
2:40 to play in this first half. Hamline with the basketball. They lead 38-33. A chance to add on. Idea. Cuts through the lane. Up top. Bradley Simperman.
Hayes asking for movement. Ball reversal.
And a foul will stop play with 2:23 left in this first half.
Every time they've swung the ball across the court, got a little movement, loosens things up, breaks down that defense a little bit. Got a little help there with that foul on the reach in.
Austin Holt will head to the free throw line for the Hamline Pipers. That's good. What a player he is.
Yeah, when he's focused, he can dominate on rebounding. He's a good passer. He's a great perimeter defender for his size.
Rattles home the second free throw. 40-33 with 2:20 left in this first half.
Not a lot of back cut. Good job.
Cooper Vaughn with it across the way for St. John's. 2 minutes to go in the first half.
Just talked about his ability to guard on the perimeter. That helps when you get switched up like that. Tough shot.
That's a good bucket there to make it 40-35, 5-point game, 150 left in the first half. Austin Holt.
Ooh, got an elbow in the throat there, I think.
We're going to get a foul.
All right on that.
Stop playing with 1:43 left in this first half.
Belton definitely brings experience and a guy that doesn't want to lose out there. And there's a lot of little things that he does well. So this screen there, going to the line, getting rewarded.
40-35 is our score. One more coming up for Jake Veldman.
Yeah, I think the longer you play, the closer you get to your senior year, the less you want to lose, and that shows with him, that's for sure.
41-35, $1:40 to play in this first half. Good bucket on the other end. Griffin rushing. 90 seconds left. First half. Good first half for you here on the Hamline Pipers Broadcast Network and the MIAC Sports Network. Idea kicks it out. Daniel McCarroll back to the basket, has it poked away. 3 on the timer. Holt steps into one. That was tipped. Thiessen collects underneath for St. John's, right to left.
Don't want to give up a little run here again in the half. Stay strong in the defensive end.
Under a minute to play. St. John's with the basketball. Thiessen inside the arc, now back out.
Nice job by second line defensive end. Very physical, hasn't given up much. Nice
and
job.
Thiessen turns it over, and Veldman a little too fast into the front court, dribbles it off himself and out of bounds with 38.7 left.
Zimmerman is really doing a nice job on him. He hasn't got it going really on the offensive end. What a lift to have a defensive possession like that. We need another one here.
41-37, closing stages first half. In front of a packed house. Edelman, offensive foul with 23.1 left.
Yep. Those kind of plays are big. Change games. Got his feet in position, took it square.
23.1 left here in this first half. 41-37 Hamline, trying to split the season series and be the team that knocks off St. John's for the first time in MIAC play this season. They are 11-0. Hamline 8-3 in MIAC play.
Be nice to wind it down low here and get a good look.
Shot clock turned off.
Maybe a little early. You don't want to give him a chance to score at this end.
Edelman crosses the timeline right to left. Thiessen, right at the buzzer, has it rattle out, and that's the end of the first half. 41-37 is the score at the break. Hamline leading St. John's. We'll take a break. We'll come on back.
Hope for a good start for this first half, or second half.
Carroll will inbound the basketball, and here we go. Hamline right to left in the second half, trying to avoid the sweep and be the first team to defeat St. John's in MIAC play this season. Hamline begins the second half with a turnover.
See what St. John's comes up with out of the half here.
St. John's with the basketball, left to right. Zach Longville with it, top of the key, finds Ryan Thiessen. Thiessen puts it on the floor, stops the dribble, left side.
Again, nice job, make it go sideways, not let it go down the lane.
Berg spins. The hook shot with the right hand comes up short. Contact between Simperman and Connor Schwob. And we're going to get a personal foul on Connor Schwob. 41-37, 9:25 left in regulation. Hamline with the basketball. Simperman finds Austin Holt. Hoffman back up high for Simperman. Left side, Brendan Ebel down low. Austin Holt going to work against Connor Schwob with the right hand. Austin Holt scores. A minute gone by in this second half. It's 43-37 Hamline.
Chose not to double on that one, and he did a good job.
Austin Holt, by the way, with 18 points. 18 points, 5 boards for Austin Holt. That is a game-high 18. St. John's with the bucket to make it 43-39. Thiessen with 11. So he is in double figures.
Good idea on that look.
Longville for 3, and that rattles in. Zach Longville knocks down an open look for 3, and it's a 1-point game, 43-42, approaching 18 minutes to play in regulation.
Yeah, hopefully gets the ball and there's some good look movement there.
In the paint, Ebel shovels it up towards the rim. Thiessen with the rebound, left to right. In the lane, Berg cuts back to the basket and scores, and Coach Hayes is going to call a quick timeout.
I heard him saying if we get a stop, we're good, but I don't think you really like the start to that first half, or second half here.
17:54 left in this second half. Out of the timeout, Hamline will have Hoffman, Ebel, Simperman, Holt, and McCarroll. And we'll see, Sean, what transpires here on this trip down the floor for the Hamline Pipers.
So far, they attack the basket.
Holt fouled.
Little break there. I thought maybe he was taking that shot. Not bad. Taking free throws, I think.
Yeah. Blake Berg with the personal foul. Holt has his first free throw attempt rattle out. 17:42 left in regulation. 1-point game. Holt at the line. And that's good. Holt with 19 points. Thiessen off to his left. Open look for 3. That's off the front iron. Cleared out underneath by Hamline's Austin Holt. 19 points, 6 boards for Austin today. Bodies on the floor. St. John's will come away with the basketball left to right, with approaching 17 minutes to play in regulation. We're tied at 44. It was 41-37 Hamline at the break. Cooper Vaughn tosses it to Ryan Thiessen, who drives right down the middle and scores.
They tried to just about every possession go for him, penetrate. That was a tough look because he kind of got into the traffic and got a shoulder and got to the basket.
46-44. Quick trip offensively.
I really like that one. That one comes in. We haven't established good yet.
16 and a half to play in this second half. Nice feed underneath, and Connor Schwob scores. Zach Longville found him. It's 48-44 after the make. Hamline back with the basketball up top. Austin Holt finds Daniel McCarroll. Holt will watch McCarroll speed to the rim, and McCarroll scores. 48-46, quickly down the floor. Spot up 3, rattles out. Cooper Vaughn took it, and he made 4 of those against St. Mary's. Holt goes out of bounds underneath the basket down to our broadcast left.
Yeah, I think it got tipped back off. I'd like to see a little bit more rotation, a little bit more ball touch the ball.
48-46, St. John's, 2-point game. Johnny's with the basketball. Zach Longville with it. Finds Johnson. Longville around Austin Holt. Longville Down the left of the lane, will back it out with 8 on the timer. Johnson leans in off the glass. Fought forward and controlled by Brendan Ebel. He'll race down the floor right to left. Here is Sam Bradley for 3. Hamline back on defense after the miss. On the other end, left to right, goes Zach Longville, and Longville takes it close, coast to coast, and he scores to make it 50-46.
Not a bad look last time. I thought his feet were set, but again, a little quick. And Johnny's went down to the bench again.
50-46. Longville with 5 this afternoon. Holt on one bounce to McCarroll. Cross-court feed, 4 to shoot. Veldman has to get rid of it. Fade away, off the heel. Offensive rebound, and a whistle and a foul will stop play with 14:39 left in this second half.
Nice rebound by Eagle there, giving us another chance at possession. And again, on that end, we've got a pretty good job. Just one look, although we've given up the kid, we've done a pretty good one. That part of the game is going to be big.
14:39 left. Sam Bradley will inbound the basketball. We'll set the 5 on the floor when we have an opportunity. Sam Bradley finds Jake Veldman. Dominic Dosman up top for Brendan Ebel, pardon me. Dosman tried to climb up the ladder. It's tipped out of bounds. Hamline basketball with 14:29 left in regulation. 50-46, St. John's out in front. Hamline with the basketball. Ebel stops his dribble. Wide open. Simperman for 3. That's good.
Been asking for that inside. I've been saying a lot. But before we can get him involved in the big games and big game shot making, it's proven time and time again when the game's tight.
Simperman with 5. It's a 1-point game.
Late call.
Whistle will stop play with 14:03 left in regulation.
Might have been the right call, but could have gone either way. Probably came a little late. Nice shot to his chest. Not let it get toward the basket.
Yep. Austin Holt with a game-high 19 points. He has 19.7 rebounds. 14 minutes to play in regulation. St. John's will get it in. Johnny's with the basketball. Rushing. Nearly stepped on the half-court line. Here is Thiessen. Thiessen, good for 2. And it's 52-49. Yeah, that was a tough shot. Thiessen with the bucket. He has 15. And it's 52-49 St. John's. Raul Videa fights off a defender. Backs it out for Bradley Simperman. Back in for Dominic Dosman. Veldman for 3. That's short. Quality look, though, offensively.
Yeah, they doubled down on the post and kicked opposite. That was a real good look.
52-49, a little over 13 minutes to play in regulation. Ryan Thiessen on the floor for St. John's. Longville waits for his teammate to free up. Rushing, scores. Griffin Russian scores to make it 54-49.
Such a great game because just like Hamline, we're seeing contributions like we mentioned from a lot of different guys on both ends.
12:45 to play in regulation, 54-49. Top of the key for Raul Videa. Dominic Dosman with the basketball. Dosman finds Veldman, 6 to shoot. Into the corner, Videa cradles the basketball away from a defender.
That's a great bailout shot there, and you hear the bench helping out, counting down the clock there. That was a great bailout shot.
He has 6. 3-point game, 54-51. 12-17 left.
Is that 2, 3?
That is his third, yep. 3-point game, 12-17 left. 54-51. Both teams will go to the bench here. 5 on the floor for
They'll correct that in a second.
it's Ebel, McCarroll, Holt, Dosman,
Nice job.
and Simperman.
One shot, come back and get a good one.
12 minutes to play in regulation. 3-point game, 54-51. Hamline led at the break. St. John's came out strong once again. McCarroll back to the basket, leaning in, still leaning in with the bucket.
Continuing that physical play.
McCarroll in double figures. He has 11. 54-53. Thiessen on the other end for St. John's. Fadeaway jump shot. Too strong. Holt.
Gonna get him for traveling.
It looked good.
Thought maybe for a second there he'd scoop it ahead to Eagle running alongside, but couldn't see it.
11 and a half to play. 54-53. You talk about a couple of quality matchups here this afternoon. It was a 3-point game on the women's side. This one, a 1-point game, 54-53 St. John's. Hamline trying to avoid the sweep. Both teams on 5-game winning streaks.
Holt must be climbing his rebound totals. Another nice one and done there.
A little over 11 minutes to play. Idea stops his dribble underneath, puts it up and scores, and he'll head to the line to shoot one.
Wow, he's come up with some big moments, hasn't he? That shot clock running down the last time in there on that one. That is such a huge lift to have a freshman coming in by the end of the year having that kind of confidence. And earlier in the year, I noticed that I felt like he was pushing and trying a little too hard. Now it's more in the flow, and it's really helping on the levels, that's for sure.
He had a career game against St. John's earlier this season. Makes the free throw.
He carries himself with confidence. I like it. Yeah, that's right. I remember that game at St. John's. He was a real bright spot.
It is high school basketball at Maple Grove. 56-54, Hamline leading by 2. Back and forth we go.
That's a tough matchup there.
Thiessen leans in and scores. He was going against Dominic Dosman.
Did a good job keeping his feet in front of him, but just kind of got muscled too close to the basket.
We're tied at 56. Thiessen with 15, make it 17.
Decision there.
The hook shot is off the mark. Still tied at 56. Ball goes out of bounds. St. John's basketball.
Idea got back on defense. Forced a difficult pass. Good job on both ends by him right now.
Correction, Hamline basketball. 56 all with 10:25 to play.
Sounds like he's putting Holt on Thiessen. A lot of stuff is running through him. Just got to keep out of the paint.
Idea has his pass intercepted down the floor. Connor Schwob, easy bucket for Connor Schwob. 58-56, St. John's up by 2 with 10 minutes to play in regulation. Ten minutes to play in regulation. Daniel McCarroll, left side. Nice move underneath, high off the glass and in. He's played so well here this afternoon.
What does he have for total?
In the paint. Yeah, he has 13. His career high is 28, but he has played well. He had 17 last time out.
That change-up coach made, I just mentioned, he put Holt on Thiessen. Like I said, he moves his feet pretty well and won't get pushed around, but that was still a tough move by him.
Approaching 9 minutes to play, 60-58. Thiessen with 19 points. That matches Austin Holt. Holt stops his dribble. Pass goes out of bounds.
Got a break. They doubled on it that time and didn't have much to do with it. Looking for a cutter.
Touched Thiessen last, so Hamline will get ready to inbound the basketball.
Just now they got Simperman back in and they'll have those 3 fouls and keep the matchup. We'll see.
Underneath.
Kick out.
Holt Finds Bradley for three off the heel. 9 minutes to play. 60-58, 2-point game. Under 9 minutes to play in regulation. Longville into the corner. Thiessen finds Berg. Berg stops his dribble, spins as it's altered.
Again. Here we go. Let's get a good look.
Austin Holt back the other way for the Hamline Pipers. Simperman way deep on a three, and he comes up empty with 8:29 left. 60-58 is our score.
Well, we've both seen games when he shoots that shot and it's a good look when he's got it out of hand. That one might have felt good to go in, but he's just not quite there right now. Hopefully he gets there as this game goes down the stretch.
8:29 left in this second half. 60-58 is our score. We're back at.
They said they're 12 right now. Probably about as many as want a game like this, but they'll have to live with it.
8:29 left. 60-58. St. John's with the basketball.
Folks taking a break.
Veldman, Ebel, Simperman, Dawsman, and Bradley, the five on the floor for the Hamline Pipers. Approaching 8 minutes to play in regulation.
Just watching how tight the Eagles stays to go on there.
Thiessen to the rim.
Got a break.
Schwob picks up the rebound. Shot clock recycles. 8 minutes to go in regulation. 60-58. Berg to the rim, and he'll shoot two.
Hopefully that one's not
We're going to get Bradley.
That's good.
So Sam Bradley picks up the personal foul, his third. Berg at the line. Blake Berg scores from the strike to make it 61-58. That's good. 62-58, 7:54 to play.
Gosh, feels like every possession is just big.
7:45 left in regulation. Hamline with the basketball. Here is Jake Veldman. Veldman skips it to Brendan Ebel. Ebel leans in, splits the defenders.
Looks like he's going to go to the line.
So we'll get a couple of free throws here. Brendan Ebel will head to the line. Thiessen with the personal foul. 62-58. St. John's.
These free throws down.
Scores the first free throw. Second free throw coming up for Brendan Ebel. He has 9. Hamline with a couple of players in double figures. Austin Holt with 19. Another double-double for Austin Holt.
Ebel just sent the double figure thing.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
62-60. It's a 2-point game. Hamline trailing by 2. St. John's with the basketball. Berg leans in.
I think they got away with over the back, and so let's go Jays.
Basket is good. It's a 6-point game after the make.
I was going to comment on how I thought it was pretty well officiated, but that one, there we go.
Hamline will head to the line.
I do feel like they've been letting them play to a certain extent and having to earn things, but once in a while you're going to blow one. I think they might have lost one there.
Carroll will head to the line for the Hamline Pipers. 4-point game, 2 shots with 7:10 left in regulation. Carroll with 13 points today. That's good.
There we go.
3-point game, 64-61, 7:10 left. Thiessen with it for St. John's. Off to the left, Berg. Right side, Longville. Longville circles the wagons, now finds Thiessen top of the key. Thiessen drives on Simperman. Simperman altered his shot enough.
Really great job that time, especially playing with those 3 fouls. Just stay in the game.
Holt with the rebound. He has 11, 9 on the defensive side, and 1.
He does such a nice job of strong, holding his balance, getting the guy to lean a little bit, and then kind of using his body against him. He does such a, when he gets it tight like that for a guard, he's well balanced. It's a great move there.
So, 1 shot coming up for Daniel McCarroll. He has 16 today. Trying to tie it up at 64. 6.5 to play. 64-63.
There we are, staying tight to him again. Just got to continue to not let him get a clean look on the perimeter as we get on this one.
Longville, top of the key, puts it on the floor. Finds Berg. Berg will score.
Tough shot.
Leans in and scores to make it 66-63 with 6 minutes to play. Semperman up top. Veldman. Off to his right by Dia. Holt stops. Off to his left for Bradley Semperman. Semperman leans in. Hooks it around the defender. Under 6 to shoot.
Called it before the shot.
Yeah.
Good job. Put that little shoulder fake. Leave his feet.
So 1-1 coming up for the Hamline Pipers. And we talked about it. These are big free throws.
Yeah, just especially in a game like this where everything has to be good. You know, so far at the line, they look pretty confident, and we just got to continue to keep contact and make free throws.
Makes the first. Austin Holt with the bucket, now with 20 points.
It's a fun game, man. Give up our little edge in this. Didn't give up that run. Here we are.
His career high is 25. Another double-double today for Austin Holt. 20 points, 21 points, 11 rebounds. 5.5 to play, 66-65. And a whistle and a foul.
And so
5:32 left.
You know, it revolves around getting penetration, and for the most part, it's a really nice job. You get a guy by you, you lean on him.
66-65, 5:32 to play in regulation. First personal foul on Raul Vidia. St. John's with the basketball. Bird has played well. Finds Thiessen. Open shot. Rolls off. Veldman the board. Coach Hayes will call out the play. Idea. Stops his dribble. Finds Holt. Left angle. Simperman.
A lot of attention on him.
And
what's this?
Yeah, what do we have here? A foul is going to be called. I believe it's on St. John's. Yeah.
They're both on the ground.
That's what happens when you're sitting here. Sometimes a lot of the times you get screened out, but here with 5:06 left.
I guess I just got a comment from my buddy Jim Hayes here. The second half, I don't want this to bite me. They're sticking to the game plan. They're tuned in defensively. I'd like to see them maintaining that down the stretch, but I just think they were really well prepared for what St. John's was going to throw at them.
By the way, Berg has 4 fouls on the St. John's side of things. We're tying at 66.
Before that shot happened, I said a lot of attention still focuses on Simperman. There's double team there, but he got a break, get some free throws. He's going to have to make some shots.
5 minutes to play. It's 67-66. The Hamline Vipers lead by 1.
A little contact down there. I'm not sure what that was.
Vaughn off to his right. Thiessen back for Vaughn, way outside, and he missed everything, and it goes out of bounds with 4:46 left.
He might be just itching because he hasn't had a look, and a shooter like that could make up, but that was deep.
Yeah.
That was deep. Halfway between the three-point line and half court, I think.
4:40 left. 67-66. Down the stretch we go. They're on the Hamline Pipers Broadcast Network and the MIAC Sports Network. A look for three. Offensive rebound. McCarroll.
Good second chance here.
Shot clock recycles. Videa with it. Stops his dribble, right side. Up top for Jake Feldman. Quickly they snap it underneath. Austin Holt comes up short. A little over 4 minutes to play.
Played him on the left shoulder. I thought he could have gone the other way on that one.
67-66, and oh, what a block!
That's athletic right there. Wow. That looked like an easy basket. He came nowhere on the other side to knock that one out of bounds.
4:04 left. 67-66. And we're going to get a timeout called by Coach Hayes. A 30-second timeout called by Coach Hayes with the score 67-66. And another
X and O stuff. And I can see watching these coaches here. They're so animated with their body language. It's fun to see.
Yeah, you get to take everything in when you're sitting courtside. Great perspective.
I coached for quite a while, but I wonder what I look like. Is my question not right now.
All right, here we go. 4:04 left. 67-66. Out of the timeout.
No. A few people not happy with that one in here. Ebo had good length on that. I thought did just a really good job of keeping himself in front and then just going up and blocking the shot.
So with 3:59 left, some free throws coming up for St. John's. Cooper Vaughn.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to miss too many foul shots.
No. Vaughn in double figures. He now has 11. 68-67, under 4 minutes to play here in this one.
Stick to the game plan, right? Just grind it out and see who wins. What an awesome game.
St. John's won the earlier matchup 80-60. It's 68-67 here right now.
Good up fake.
Austin Holt
Good
scores.
strong move. Been a little quiet lately. Coming back, we're going to need that down the stretch too.
It has been a bright spot here all afternoon long. 1 point game, 69-68. The Hamline Pipers lead by one.
Getting loud here. This guy's got to communicate on those screens. Let them know they're coming.
Thiessen, step back jumper.
Great job.
Off the mark.
Great job.
Ebel.
Okay, 1 point lead here. Getting a basket here would be big.
Simperman with 3 minutes to play. Simperman with the basketball. Ebel, left side, up top for Jake Veldman, around for McCarroll, inside for Bradley Simperman. 6 to shoot. Simperman spins baseline, has it partially blocked.
That's a great matchup between those two guys. They're both giving everything they got. They're both neutralizing each other a bit.
2:40 to play. Long three on the way, and that's good.
That's a tough one. That was deep too.
71-69 with 2.5 to play. Zach Longville with 8. They sling it inside. McCarroll back up top for Austin Holt. Brendan
Body
Ebel.
early there, let it go.
With 2:15 left, Holt
kind of
head to the line.
Yep, there we go.
He will head to the line to shoot 2 with 2:16 left.
How big these free throws are. I started talking about it about 8 minutes ago because it felt like we were down to 2 minutes, but now we are down to 2 minutes.
71-69. Again, it was a 41-37 ball game at the break. Hamline led. Austin Holt with another opportunity.
That would look good, but just step up.
Holt with 23 points, 11 rebounds.
There we go.
Make it 24. His career high again is 25. 1 point game.
St. John's timeout.
And St. John's will call a timeout. 2:16 left. We'll take a timeout with them here. It is 71-70. St. John's leading by 1. What's the message on the Hamline Piper side of things, Sean?
Well, I think, I said it before the game, you want to be in a battle like you belong at the top. The message here is stick to the game plan. And you just make every play. You just make every play your best play here, especially on this defensive end. And you never know. This is right where I wanted them to be right now.
71-70 with 2 minutes to play in regulation. St. John's with the basketball out of the timeout. Thiessen, left side, match up against Simperman. Thiessen,
heavyweight fight
with the right, has it go off the heel. Holt snares the rebound, and we dip under 2 minutes to go.
That's been something to watch. And staying out of foul trouble has been huge. Now let's get a clean look here.
Ebel with his back to the basket. Nearly had it stripped away. Gets it back.
Plenty of time.
McCarroll, right side. McCarroll snakes through the lane. Simperman, 2-point shot on its way, off the mark.
Not a bad look.
Still a 1-point game.
Gotta get a stop.
71-70. $1:20 to go. Berg with it, top of the key for St. John's.
He's got travel, maybe.
Yeah, looked like he got away with it. Here is Cooper Vaughn.
Okay.
Vaughn, step back. Shot comes up short. Holt.
Great defensive possession by Ebel. Just couldn't control that black shot.
A little over a minute left.
So the ball didn't hit the rim. So they got 3 seconds left to get one off here.
So a timeout called here with 1:03 left. Holt, Daniel McCarroll, Jake Veldman, Bradley Simperman, and Brendan Ebel, the 5 on the floor for Coach Hayes.
They got to communicate on any type of screening action on the interior so that nothing gets in that paint easy.
71-70 at the rim, and that's a well-drawn-up play by St. John's.
That might be how they were going to go with that. But all right, now you just got to get, I would say, get your best look. You don't need a 3, just get your best look here.
3-point game, under a minute to play.
Maybe taking the timeout. We'll see how many he's got left.
Holt up top for Daniel McCarroll. McCarroll
14 on the clock.
Over for Ebel, 10 on the timer. Simperman leans in off the glass, and that's good.
He's a big shot maker, we know that. I don't care if he hasn't had his greatest game. He's the guy that knows he wants the ball. That shot clock running down. They give him a chance right there.
St. John's will have the basketball here, and Hamline will apply full court pressure.
I got about a 90% chance to track an MVP, so we'll see.
Veldman, Ebel, Simperman, Holt, and McCarroll.
Pressure, making a little time, if nothing else. Hopefully throw him out of rhythm a little bit, maybe.
1-point game.
Okay, got to see the ball, got to communicate.
Longville, top of the key.
Good job. Don't foul them.
Berg stops his dribble. Here is Ryan Thiessen.
Going through where I thought it might go through here. The shot clock going down.
10 to shoot, 15 on the game clock. 73-72. It's a 1-point game. St. John's trying to remain unbeaten. And a whistle and a foul.
I got to complain about that one a little bit. I thought Ebel had his body in front, had his feet square. They tried to force him to the switch because they knew that he had an advantage on Ebel. Ebel did a great job.
So a 1-point game.
Thankfully, they're not rewarded at the line with that one.
Yeah.
So now it's 10 seconds. They can. Now you almost got it. You got to get after the foul.
A late whistle here, and they're going to get McCarroll with the foul.
That's a good thing they did too, because that was a 2-point play on the other side there, maybe even a dunk, and it was over. So
7 seconds left. 1-point game. 73-72.
He's at 80% free throw shooter, so let's maybe see if the numbers go against him here. We'll see.
Coach Hayes is going to call a time.
He's thinking about it.
There you go. 8.9 left. 1-point game, 70.
Figured out. I think you're probably going to have to come out of this down 3. We'll see.
8.9 left. 1-point game, 73-72. St. John's 11-0 in MIAC play. Hamline right behind them, 8-3. Berg at the line for St. John's. He has 15 points today, and he misses it. 1-point game. Here we go. 5 seconds to go. Simperman leans in, and a blocking call is.
All right. Take a breath. Knock him down. I was kind of shielded. I didn't see that, but a lot of bodies hit the floor. That's a gutsy call to make.
2 shots coming out. Bird, by the way, has fouled out for St. John's.
Yeah, with that miss, it surprised me, but you know we talked about this one. You go quick time before you get it. Maybe not. That is big. From the 7-minute mark, I've been talking about free throws. All right.
We're tied at 73.
There's that timeout. So now they got to talk about it. A couple teams are down to 1 timeout, 2 seconds. Other teams are lost as well, so if you make this, just keep it out of the So we'll talk about that in this timeout.
Semperman at the line for 1 more free throw.
Get in there. Keep the ball in front of you. See if they call their last timeout. 14, that's obviously a guy you don't even want him touching the ball. You do not want Vaughn touching the ball. But also, Longville's had a couple of big bombs too, so do not foul. So they got a little length on the ball here down, so that you can't throw that like easy like straight line pass. It gets down and hits a guy on target.
St. John's will call a timeout.
A lot of it sounds crazy. You got 2 seconds, but you talk about a lot of stuff. They decided to take him off the ball, so nobody's guarding the ball. So they put an extra defender behind so that the ball doesn't get rolling around. See how deep he throws it here. Yes,
and it's knocked away, and the time runs out, and the Hamline Pipers win it.
What a big win here today. Wow.
They win it by a final score of 74-73. They